the tea and it's hot like steam. Brutsy and Kitty, we're here to play life.
Good afternoon, good people. You're watching Brudsy Entertainment. I am joined with the lovely Kitty. Kitty, how are you today?
I'm in shock, I think.
I
I'm in shock. Happy Thursday, everybody.
you say you're in shock. If you was to ask me the same question, am I in shock? I have to say no. Like,
You're
you
not.
know, I'm not shocked at all. I'm not surprised at all. This was just always going to be a matter of time. Like, and just seeing what's like, you know, let's just start with what's happened today, guys. For what we know so far, 2 people are dead in Manchester. A man in a vehicle ran a few people down in a vehicle, jumped out the car, and he was stabbing as many people as he could. The synagogue has security, and they were able to sort of like stop the damage from getting as far as it could have got. But the police have turned up and shot this guy. A controlled explosion has just happened as well because he was wearing some sort of vest. Kitty, so yes, I was saying to you, I'm not surprised by it. Like, you know, I'm really not surprised by this sort of thing happening.
I don't think I'm surprised. I just don't like this inhumanity. I just don't like the murder of people to get a point across, and it's getting to the point of, I just think, what is happening to humanity. You know, that this is how you make a point. You go into a place of worship and you murder people. What is wrong with human people today that is the answer? I think that's the shocking part. We've got to sort of take our hat off to the Manchester police, because apparently they were there within 7 minutes.
Wow, that's got to be a record, surely.
7 minutes. I think they learnt a lot from the Manchester bombings, obviously. But this community, from what I can gather, it goes hand in hand. Well, they're not saying that this guy is a Muslim, are they? At this point, they're not saying that this is what it is. But this community lives side by side with the Muslim community.
Sikhs as well. Sikhs, Muslims,
Yeah,
they all live together prosperously.
Area. But I've just been watching a guy on Sky News, and he says he used to work for some sort of security within the government, and he's Jewish, and he has been. This is his synagogue, and they've been actually protecting it now for nearly 2 years because they knew something like this was going to happen, and they've got people outside the synagogue when people are worshipping, because it's got up to a capacity of 900 people outside with stab vests and so on. So they have been waiting for it. He was also saying how much that there is hatred towards the Jewish faith. And, you know, he goes to the doctors and he'll take his star. He doesn't want people to know that he's Jewish because he's afraid that people won't sort of help him because he's Jewish. I didn't know about this side of it. I think I'm a little bit ignorant towards the or what's been going off here. But I think it's absolutely awful. I think it's awful.
Yeah, I with what's like, you know, and another big thing that someone's just mentioned, we are bearing ever closer to the anniversary of the 7th of October.
Yeah.
And this is the Jewish most religious day as well, one of their and yeah, it's not good. I just don't know what to say, man. You know, people are watching things like, you know, people like this Gaza thing. We're seeing it all over the news, and we're seeing it. There's a lot of anti-Jew kind of content online now. It's literally everywhere. There's a lot of anti-everything at the minute, but there's anti-Muslim and there's anti-Jew, and people are taking sides. People are taking sides on that. Interesting dynamics of who's on whose side. But let's hear what Keir Starmer had to say about the matter.
The attack in Manchester this morning is absolutely shocking, and all of our thoughts are with those affected. I'm on my way back to London. When I arrive, I will chair an emergency COBRA meeting. I'm already able to say that additional police assets are being deployed to synagogues across the country, and we will do everything to keep our Jewish community safe. I've spoken to Mark Gardner of the CST, and Andy Burnham, Mayor of Manchester, and I want to thank the emergency services for the speed of their response.
Well, he says that he's going to do a Cobra meeting, and he wants to assure the Jewish community that they are aware of the threat, aware of the situation, and they will be, they'll be bumping up security.
Do you know what? Right, grow some balls, man. Do you know what? Just grow some balls and say no, not on my watch. Not on my watch. These are British citizens. Whether their religion is this, and this, you're not doing it, right? We're going to stop this. They have had apparently this preparation. They've got a name for it, Operation such and such. They've known this was coming for how long? And I wish that this government would grow some balls and say, we're not having it. We don't want the divide. We want you, and I know we've talked about it and how it profits them. But come on, people are dying. People are dying because of the religious book that they read. It's not on. It's not on. We're a tolerant country. Stop it. But if we're to believe that this is a Muslim attack, and I'm saying allegedly this is a Muslim attack, this then backs up the far right because they're saying that they're not integrating, because they're not standing for other people's religion. I mean, the community have come out and said that they don't condone what's happened, and obviously I know that 95% of them probably don't.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to. One thing I said about yesterday, I was speaking to someone, even when it was live with you. I don't pick sides, and I don't let one incident influence me and say, because that is what manipulators do. Black person does this, Asian person does this, white person does this. That's what manipulators do. So I won't play that game. I will say it as there are people out there that are their minds. If they see whatever, if they see what's going on the telly, they see what's going on social media. If they're following the wrong person, their minds can be influenced, and they are susceptible to going out there and doing something crazy like this, like hurting innocent people. One thing I'll say is hurting innocent people isn't the way to go. Like, it's not the way to go. You don't do it, man. And, and a lot, what was mentioned today, a lot of the Jews, they're not happy about what's going on in Gaza and Palestine right now either. Like, it's the people at the top at doing it. So it's just the people out there that have got, weak minds, and they are likely to go, they can watch too much television. Like, most of us can watch a horror movie and not think nothing by it, be scared about it, go home and enjoy it. Some people watch that horror movie, decide they want to be that killer, go get a knife and want to kill people just like that. That is what I'm talking about. Their susceptible, their weak sort of mind that's, going for it. But guys, thank you for the gifts over there. Zionists run the government, Israel do it. There's a lot of there's a lot of this stuff going around at the minute. Like, people, rather than just condemning the act, people are like, I was looking at comments on the videos, and a lot of it, there was not a lot of sympathy for what was happening. It was like, oh, look what's happening in Gaza. Like,
that's not an argument. That's not an argument. Oh, it's happening in Gaza, so it's all right then. No, it's not. This is human people. This is people. It's not.
I know you didn't. I'm just saying what other people are talking about.
Do you know what I mean? It's not great. I don't agree with what's going off in Gaza. I'm on the side of humanity. People being killed because.
Oh, good God. Someone's put what happens if the suspect's someone that's come illegally on a boat. Well, what I would say to people listening is, no, I shouldn't have to say it, but there's good and bad in everyone, and and there's crazies in all demographics, in everything. There are crazies. There are people out there that do crazy stuff. Unfortunately, if you start going and play the game, oh look, today a black person done something, a white person done something, but some people, what they do is they have a whole profile on X of just what black people have done, what Muslim have done, what Asians have done, and that's their content all the way down, and they've got a blue tick, and they just radicalize people. And some people are, I see these spineless people here saying sometimes, it's like, oh, we've got freedom of speech, we can't say what everyone. You can say what you want, but bear in mind that some crazy is going to go out and do some shocking crime, some shocking crime. Like Charlie Kirk said, like, you know, he literally died on his sword. He literally said, you know, unfortunately, innocent people dying is an acceptable price for having the right to bear arms. You know,
Yeah.
bad people everywhere. That's it, man. That's it. And if you want to play the game of look, pointing fingers at this person is, we have to stop letting people separate us and stop. You know, just two people have died today. What I wanted to say as well, I saw the video and I saw the alleged suspect get shot and killed, and I thought to myself, is that it? Like, social media has destroyed my brain and most of our brains to the point where we're used to seeing someone get killed.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and what was quite sad is in the video, when there's a guy, the police are trying to deal with this guy. They've shot him. He's on the floor, but he's still moving. And then they shoot him again. But the guy filming pans to a guy laying bleeding to death on the floor. Rather than helping him, there's people just like, there's a guy bleeding to death on the floor. But rather than helping him, people are more interested in recording the scene so they can get their footage. Like, you know, and that's where we are. That's what this social media stuff has done to us all. Like, you know, it's destroyed our brains.
House. He's just paid for his house with that footage. That footage, and I know the footage you're talking about because he's sat in the car, isn't he? And he's like, if this bomb goes off, I'm off.
Not that one. I actually saw the one where the guy's literally standing right next to the police officer, and he's literally he's got the camera on the floor.
That one, the one in the car, he's just paid for his house.
Yeah.
With that footage, because
Well,
it's got it on, repeat. So, you know, that's what it's all about. Like you said yesterday, it's all about the green. It's not about black, white, this, that. It's all about the green. Because right now, there was no human thought for, oh my God, there's a person that, like you say, that's just been on the floor, covered in blood. Is there anything I can do to help?
at least try help him, surely. Like, someone's just put if they thought he was dead, put a cover over him or something. But for me, it looked like maybe something could have been done. Like, you know, I don't know, but you know, we'll never know now because everyone decided that they was more interested in watching the police shoot someone rather than actually show some humanity and actually help the guy that's bleeding to death on the ground. I think I would have, as much as I would want to get content, if I saw someone bleeding on the floor, I would go and help that person.
Yeah,
crazy.
That would be my first thing. But then I sometimes wonder if we're too soft. I don't know whether we're right or wrong in how we feel, because I said something about racism the other day, and my friend said to me, but not everybody's like you, Kit. Do you know, you've got this great way of looking at life. You're either a good person or a bad person. The colour of your skin isn't relevant. If you're a good person, I want to know you. If you're a bad person, you can just go away from me. I don't want to know you. He says, and that is a really healthy way to be. Not everybody's like that. He says, and you get really offended and upset when people don't think the way you do.
Yeah, that's something I'm guilty of as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
I try and reason with people, and I try and...
Yeah, maybe that's where we're at fault here, because I'm not blowing our own trumpet, but we're sort of semi-nice people. You know, we would like to think that we're good human beings.
Yeah.
And for me, if I saw somebody on the street bleeding, the first thing would be, get my coat, get this, let's keep them warm, let's do this, let's do that. I don't think I could, you know, but then had they been told to sit in the car?
The police were telling them to back off, I suppose. But the thing is, if it was just their safety that they were worried about and they were cowering behind the wall, they wouldn't be recording their phone. So that's not their morality is not there, is it? Their morality is about getting the footage.
I'm just trying to, you know, weigh it up.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I mean, he did actually shout, just shoot him.
He did, yeah.
It's just shoot him. But then I think I would have thought that as well, if this man's standing there in bombs and all sorts, and
you never know. I mean, I would be very I don't know, but normally what happens when we had those attacks in London, the people had vests on as well, but they were just duds basically. Like, you know, not many. This sounds like it doesn't sound like a sophisticated attack. It sounds like some guy got some kitchen knives, got in his car, mowed some people down, jumped out and tried to cause as much damage as he could. Like, you know, they did a controlled explosion, and if he had some C4 or something serious on him or something like that, they would have mentioned it straight away, and the bomb would have been louder. The explosion would have been louder.
But what do you think causes that? Do you think it is literally somebody talking and talking and talking, and their brain not be,
That's it. Listen. Benjamin Netanyahu, he said I don't know if you've seen this video that's going mad on social media at the minute. He's talking about weapons of war, and his biggest weapons of war is social media influencers. Like, people are being paid big bucks to just stick to one side and make videos about one side, and why do you think that he said it's a weapon? He said social media is a weapon. Those are his words. So people know all it takes is just enough radicalization, enough posts, enough hate generating, and then someone's going to jump up and go do something crazy. Unfortunately, that's where we are. Like, we saw it with the stabbings with the young girls in Southport.
Yeah. It's got to be mental health. I mean, when people go, oh, don't say it's mental health, you've got to be mental health, because I can hear all this stuff and it don't make me want to run out and do something evil.
It's just where you are in life as well. If you've got nothing, and no, but it's a bit deeper with this one, because obviously what people are seeing happening in Gaza, to the Palestinians, what they're seeing every single day, that for sure was going to be like, they know for sure that was going to make. That's why there's security on these synagogues anyway, and that's why there's already been improved. There's already, they got there in 7 minutes. I mean, the guy was dead in 7 minutes. So I bet fat payout helped them. Fat payout helped too. Two men handcuffs on residential street being led away from the police. Unit 820. 81. I don't know. Explain that for me.
I thought maybe they had learned from the Manchester bombing. That was. This is the unit, and obviously it was the proper unit, wasn't it? It was the armed unit that was straight out. Mm. And I do know that Cobra has been called for this afternoon, so he's looking at what's going off, but has he got the balls to do something? Mm. That's the thing. Has he got the balls to call this out? That's what people want. They want him to call it out. I'm not standing for it on our streets.
Yeah. I think that goes without saying, really. I don't think anyone's in favour of people getting in their car and poking people for whatever reason.
No, I don't say it out loud, because right now he's got the reputation of a wet lettuce. He's got to be seen to stand up and say.
Well, let's hear what he said again, Keir Starmer. I'm pretty sure he does say. What does he say? Let's have a look.
The attack in Manchester this morning is absolutely shocking,
yeah.
And all of our thoughts are with those affected. I'm on my way back to London. When I arrive, I will chair an emergency Cobra meeting. I'm already able to say that additional police assets are being deployed to synagogues across the country, and we will do everything to keep our Jewish community safe.
I think he does say enough there for what you'd expect, keeping the Jewish community safe. This is not acceptable. I think you just don't like Keir Starmer. Someone's put she's just a hateful woman. Nothing is good enough for her. Is this someone you've upset in your previous life?
Again,
a hateful woman.
I just want some. I want to feel like he's going to do something, but when he talks, he just talks like. And yeah, I don't dislike him, because when people say to me, oh, it's all his fault, I actually stick up for him and go, actually, no, I don't think it is. It's just that he's in power right now. I think it goes back several governments, and every government has depleted this country to the bone.
What the previous administration weren't dealing with the applications. So literally, like Keir Starmer said, what do you want me to do? We've got to deal with these applications. They're like, what do you want me to do with it? I do feel a little bit sorry for him, but people have got their spin on it. Everyone's got their spin, everyone's got their agenda, everyone's got their reasons for hating him. I don't know what else he could do,
like I said, I don't dislike him. I just want him to have some passion in when he speaks, because I suppose he's got to have that cool demeanour. But to me, there's just no passion in it. Whereas I'd want, listen here, you're not doing it. And I don't Nigel Farage would have been able to do it either, or anyone from the Conservative Party. I just
If Reform get in, Nigel Farage will be the biggest flop ever. Like all this guy talks about is like this is why Keir Starmer said that he's just talking about racist policies and stuff like that because his policies will appeal to people that are racist. Like there's no doubt about that. Like it's like the far right parties, the BNP and stuff like they've never had to work hard for their vote. All they have to say is like, "Oh, we're going to get them out of this country." Blah 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 blah.
It's just pathetic. It's just pathetic. People are here. We're living next door to them. We're sort of arm in arm with them on a daily basis. If you went round to borrow some milk, they'd probably give you the milk. It's the great British way that we are.
Yeah. How long before I'm sitting here, I'm looking at it, I'm seeing Elon Musk really poking the bear, especially in the UK. How long before it's banned? How long before X is banned in the UK? How long before it's banned?
Yeah, it'll go soon.
Do you know, because obviously people can say whatever they want. They can have as much. No, honestly, if someone's saying never, like X, like if you think like if more attacks start happening, and undoubtedly they will, like at some point, like I was saying, like why am I not even fazed by seeing someone shot today, like and seeing someone laying on the floor bleeding to death because social media has poisoned our mind. Do we think it's good? Do we think it's good? Do we think that's a good thing, guys? That all the poison that's out there on social media. If you think some of the things that you've seen you've seen, and you think to yourself, this is deeply disturbing. Like why have I seen something like this? And then the more you watch it, like the more it just becomes like nothing.
Well,
Yeah, 100%. It's revolting. Like I think some sort of censorship is probably on its way and especially what it's doing to children. You have to bear in mind, children are seeing this. One of the Charlie Kirk shooting, I know a lot of the schools were doing sort of counselling sort of sessions for kids that have seen it because they know our kids are seeing this sort of stuff. Like people getting shot in the neck, people getting all sorts of bits happening, crazy stuff. Crazy things that no one should ever see, let alone children. We're seeing it on a day-to-day basis. And if you've got a VPN, you just go on X.
Yeah, but people will say that it's their right to see it, but do you really want your children seeing it? That's the morality of it.
But that's where we've got to. We've got to a point where we've got to a point where someone just comes out and says people have the right to see people getting shot. This is where we've got to. That we're so far damaged. This is where we've got to. Who wants to see someone get shot? I wish I never watched the Charlie Kirk thing, but it's the first thing I saw. As looking at the topics of today, the first thing I saw, I didn't even know, it was about 12 o'clock at night. Turned my thing on. First thing I saw was someone getting shot, and I didn't want to see it. And then some people are heartless, literally heartless, on their X account, pretending that there's different conspiracies. Maybe there are. It sounds like there's some fishy business going on for sure with it. But there are some people that didn't give a damn and just about those views, mate.
Yeah. It's that, like you say, the insensitized of it. We become insensitized to it because I don't want to see it, and the first thing I do is it's gone. I don't want to see it. But I just don't. We know that there's going to be more footage coming out of this one.
Yeah, for sure. Guys on TikTok, if anyone wants to take part in this show, you don't have to come on with your camera. Go over to Brudsy Entertainment or is it Tall Lady Kitty on? Tall Lady. Yeah, Tall Lady Kitty on YouTube. You can come in. There's a link in the description. You can come in and have your say on it. I would like to speak to some Jews, to be honest with you, because I know it's their. It's a special day for them, so probably they won't want to speak. But I would like to know how they're because how they're feeling about all this stuff that's happening in Gaza, and with in America, a Jewish person was shot, anti-Semit, and all these attacks are just rife at the minute. It's revolting. Children have lost their parents every single day. Of course, what's happening in Gaza is horrible. Is horrible, and it's really hard to defend. I try to be in the middle, and when I see it, I'm just like, wow. What can I say about this? So let alone And you know, some people can see things and just be like, you know, whatever. It's sad, but whatever. But then some people that, you know, that might have family members over there, you know, share same religion. Even seeing people that look like them being blown up is enough. Like, you know, one of the big things was with all these reporters that were willy-nilly going into all these war zones, but going to Ukraine and watching white people get blown up. The reporters that cover war, they were shooken up by it because they saw white people being blown up. They've never seen white people killing white people like that before, like in this day and age, like, you know. So people will you know, undoubtedly just sort of, you know.
I just think, like you say, in this society, thanks to the likes of X and social media, we are becoming desensitized to it all, and it shouldn't be like that. You know, you should see somebody, if you see somebody being killed or hurt, your first response shouldn't be.
Someone's put Ukraine was a whole different situation. Obviously the war and everything, you can argue totally different situation, but the moral of what I'm saying is 100% true. The reporters were shocked for see, like, one of the women was like, these are Europe. This is Europe. And what she meant by that was, this is like, these are white people doing this to each other. Like, you know, that's been debunked and totally there. You can go up there and see that yourself.
It's people dying. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the kind of, when you see somebody die.
Oh yeah, obviously. I'm not debating the morality of the Palestinians fighting Israel. Like, I'm not debating that at all, buddy. No, I was just saying about the violence and the killing, the death.
It's humanity of it. All of a sudden, you're seeing people that look like you, or look like your children, or look like that are hungry and starving, and it's a wake up call. It's a smack to the face. Oi, do you know this is going on?
People feel helpless. People feel helpless. They literally feel helpless. One thing I will say to people, though, the Muslim brothers out there that are seeing these kind of things, like, you know, there are Jewish people that don't agree with what's going on out there either. There are Jewish people in London right now marching with their flags saying "Free Palestine" as well. You know, so it's not all, like, you know, they're just as powerless, just like us. Like, you know, 1 million people marched for the anti-war, for not going to war in Iraq. And what happened? 1 million people went down there and said no. Everyone was against it. And the government went ahead and done it anyway, you know.
On a lie. That was a lie. Remember?
Oh my God, we have to talk a little bit about that. So Tony Blair, did you watch the interview of him? He literally done an interview saying that he was mistaken, it was an accident, he wishes he'd never done it. 1 million people dead. The country destroyed. How do you say sorry? And then now, the audacity, this guy says that he wants to partner up with Netanyahu and be a leader in Palestine.
No.
That is that must show people how evil the world is. That must show how evil the world is. What's this? Please respect both communities, Jewish and Muslims. Of course. Respect for everyone, guys. We preach that.
No,
sure.
We've got things like that. We can't allow this man anywhere near anything. This man lied to get us into a war. This man got rid of Saddam Hussein, and then we had the rise of ISIS.
Yeah, it's well documented. We created ISIS, like, you know, we created.
Exactly.
Do you know what's really sad? One of the Afghans that fought against the Taliban, against the Taliban for the US, he recently got deported from America. He was living in America. He fought with the American soldiers to help him overthrow, and they sent him back, knowing for sure the moment he touches down, he's gone.
He's dead.
That's Trump. That's some different stuff there, Trump, man.
But you want him over here. Some of you guys want him over here. And I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again. Be careful what you wish for, because you will get it. And if that man was to come over here, believe me, no healthcare, nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, Tony Blair, war criminal, for sure. But, you know, the elites, the people that run stuff, you know, they're going to do whatever they want to do. Like, they don't care what we want. Like, you know, you've got a president of a country saying that the best weapon you can use nowadays is social media. And when he talks about that, he's talking about the influencers paying people to to push your agenda. He's basically lobbying freaking TikTok creators at the minute. Like, literally, if you want to be if you want to make thousands of pounds, just go on X and just say a whole load of stuff against the opposite side, the opposition.
I'm quite glad that I can't be bought.
Oh, Hamas have refused a peace deal. For me, I have my own conspiracy theory about this situation with Hamas, but I won't talk about it.
To be fair, I won't talk about that situation because I'm not educated enough to know about it completely. I have based
Yeah.
it.
I mean, but what we do know is they are a political party, so they took control over Gaza. We do know that they were in charge of it. Like, 50% of their population is under the voting age, so they wouldn't have been able to vote. I'm not sure exactly how many people voted for Hamas to be in power, but we do know that Netanyahu was giving them several billions in for money and stuff like that. We do know that he was giving them money. Why was Netanyahu giving them money? And then you think about it, to build tunnels. Why did they build tunnels? So they could hide underground. For me, I don't know. I don't even want to say it on air, but it sounds very fishy to me. Like, you think about it as well, they're hiding underground, and the only way we can kill them is by bombing the bomb, destroying the surfaces above. Like, they're hiding underground. We've given them all these billions. We've given them all these billions and stuff, and knowing that they're building tunnels underground. So what happens if there's a war and stuff? It's for me, there's a big conspiracy there with them. Big conspiracy.
The reason I don't comment on it is because, like I said, I've always said to you, I'm not completely sure what's going off, and I'm not completely sure which side I'm on. If I'm on the side of humanity, just stop killing each other.
Yeah, but this is the thing. This is the thing. We are seeing. Just today I saw a bloody Israeli soldier arguing with this 63-year-old man and then shoot him. Just today, I saw it just before I came online. I saw him, and we're seeing this every day. It's like being drummed down us. There are people that I go home and I pray. I go home and I pray for these people, and I pray that we can find some peace and love in this world. But there are people out there that are going to see that, and it's going to infuriate them, and then it's going to get them to the point where they do get in a vehicle, and this is what I mean, guys. Radicalization from wherever it's coming from is a serious thing. Like, people are moaning about, I want free speech, I want to be able to say whatever I bloody want. You can do that, but what that will do is that will encourage some nutter will watch too much videos and then go out and get in his car and go do something crazy.
It's accountability. You've got to take accountability for the consequence. The consequence of your free speech is something like this that's happened today. Something like this. Somebody has said something in their free speech, and this guy has decided, yeah, that's right, that's totally wrong, and I'm going to go and do this right now. 2 people have died. 2 people that were there to worship whatever book they were worshipping on. There's also another 2 that are critical. Did you know that? So there was 4 injured. So there's actually 4 injured. 2 have passed, and 2 are still critical. So this person decided that 4 people didn't deserve to live. Not to mention the fact that he's tried to drive into the Jewish mosque, the Jewish temple, sorry. So somebody somewhere has said something that has radicalized this man, that has plays on his head, and
he's watched one too many videos, and he's gone out there and he's done the wrong thing. For me, he's done the wrong thing. Like, morally, that's the wrong thing. And we're in the UK. We have for all the faults, we have a lovely country here where you can be whatever you want to be if you put that hard work and grind in. If you're willing to grind and put that hard work in, you can be a multi-millionaire. Ask Bonnie Blue, Ask Bonnie Blue. Ask Bonnie Blue. We live in this country is beautiful. Some of these people thinking that America's got it great. They can carry guns, they can do all this sort of stuff. Speak to my matey yesterday, that had to, watch his family, slowly perish due to not having medical insurance and stuff like that. It wasn't a peace. Oh, we're having a peace deal debate in here. The police have been on heighten. Yeah, of course they have. Of course they have. Even every synagogue has got security as well, and they've got like a private sort of organization that's sort of authorized. I saw it today. They're well looked after. But for sure, there's going to be like, unfortunately, with this Netanyahu, you just don't know what he's going to do, man.
That's it. It's Operation Plato.
Operation Plato.
Operation Plato. The police have had this in ready, and it's Operation Plato. I was trying to remember the name because they've said it on the news quite a lot. This Operation Plato.
Yeah.
And that's
What's the answer then? Because we know that people are going to keep pushing their agendas on social media. We know that there are susceptible minds out there, and there are people that will watch too much, have too much cereal, and just go out and do some madness eventually. What is the answer to it? I don't know. I don't get what is the answer.
Like you say, I think the only answer is to take it away. Take away.
The whole thing stinks of Zio Mossad. So you think it's I don't know.
The only way to stop it is to take away that freedom of speech and what people think.
Yeah.
You don't, and I don't agree with it, and I genuinely don't agree with it. I think you should be allowed to watch what you want, but unfortunately, we've got mental people that take it too far.
Yeah.
But think about China and all these states countries that are literally under the thumb of Korea and all that.
Yeah.
You don't hear many stories of it happening there, do you? And that's because they can't get on these websites. They can't watch this stuff.
Yeah.
This is how it's going to end up if you can't be trusted. You know when your mum says, if you can't be trusted to play with something, I'll take it away from you.
Yeah.
This is what's going to happen.
Yeah. Degeneracy is obviously a massive thing that's sort of creeping into our culture. As much as I say England's a great place, we've got a lot of degeneracy going on. Men, their minds are in the absolute gutter at the minute. Their minds are in the absolute gutter, and then you have people out there feeling that they've got no power, and they want to go out there and enforce that's what it's all about, power and control. They want to go out there and do some madness, and it's really tough, man. It's really tough. Watch the political.
Speaking of powerlessness, do you want to just slide maybe into the next subject?
Oh yes, police, because we were talking about the police, weren't we?
Yeah.
We were. This show was meant to be about that undercover documentary. The police officer caught speaking some truths.
There was several, because when you watch, there were several police officers in the police in London that have said some absolutely vile and disgusting things. I just can't believe that this is the police force that we have in our capital.
Yeah. Did you watch the video properly and everything? Did you?
I watched.
Give us a summary of what happened then.
Basically, they're all racist. Basically, they're misogynist and they're racist. They don't like Somalis. They are quite happy to boot somebody in the head when they're on the floor. Rape victims were laughed at and said that unless they see a boot print on their stomach, they don't want to know about anybody's rape, and because she was fat.
Yeah, that's sick. That's kind of sick, really. And for me though, if you just go by the old thing, there's good and bad. There's good and bad apples in everything. So when people say, "Oh, a policeman was saying some mad stuff," am I surprised? They're just normal people as well. They're policemen, and you expect most of them to be to be doing the right things. But we know that human beings, human beings are human beings. They have different.
Can I just take my hat off though to the police woman that called him up on it, actually in the video. The story is a woman had been raped by her partner.
Yeah.
They bailed the partner, and because she'd got pregnant from the grape, he then went round and tried to kick the baby out of her stomach, allegedly. So when she went to the policeman said, "Well, unless I see a footprint on her stomach, I don't believe it, because the size of her, I wouldn't have raped her." Something to those words. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, that's sick.
There was a policewoman who went, "Excuse me."
Yeah, a female police officer was in shock, wasn't she? She was
Yeah,
absolutely in shock.
she sort of said to him, he says, "Why? What have you got to say about it?" She goes, "Nothing. I haven't got stripes on my shoulders." So not only was this a police officer, this was a police officer with stripes. This is a sergeant. And she called him out. So good for you, girl. Good for you. And I hope that they see this and you are the one that is promoted, because apparently now 11 officers are under investigation.
Do you know how this is being spun by the inciters on X? I saw a headline that said some young boy, you know, he's just being a chancer, he's doing the incite and he's playing the black and brown stuff all the way down, and he goes, paparazzi, get police officer drunk and get him to say things that he wouldn't say if he wasn't drunk. That's how he tried to spin it.
Drunk words are a sober mind. Drunk words are a sober mind. You're already thinking those things. The fact that you're drunk just means that they come out your mouth.
Subconscious thoughts, like, you know, subconscious thoughts, like.
Loose lips sink ships, basically. You know, you say the most ridiculous things. It's not that you don't believe them. It's the fact that you normally keep them inside your head. Alcohol just, stops those in.
Yeah, but that's how it's being spun. And he had about 400,000 views on it, like, you know. So, you know, there's people out there that believe this, that think like this, unfortunately. Rather than like yesterday when that guy came in and he weren't even able just to sort of comprehend, like, just understanding that, like, you know, there's some good people over there, some bad people over there. Don't pick a side, stay in the middle, and don't let people drag you over here, like, you know, because you don't agree on everything people say. There'll be things Nigel Farage says that I guarantee you won't agree. But if you're someone that just has to hear the immigration stuff to give your vote away, I think, you know, and to be honest with you, most of these people don't vote anyway. To be honest with you, even Tommy Robinson was saying it. To be honest with you, most of them don't even vote.
Do you think it's lack of education?
I think it's just. Environment. It's environment. I think it's environment. I don't think necessarily it's education. I think it's environment. I think people that are smart enough to think and it's it's not to say that it's just people with no teeth and no GCSEs. There are smart people that get fooled just as easy. Like, you know, like we said, there's common sense, and then there's you know, book smart. Like, you know, someone, as you said yesterday. And they're two different things. It doesn't matter. Like, people can be, I don't think so. People can be manipulated all the time. Like, we can all go and do research and fact check everything that's on the internet, but people don't do it. You know, they prefer just to sort of believe what someone else said, and just, if their life ain't going right, you know, and, you know, and some of these people think that it's just it's just, yeah, the white gang, the black gang, the brown gang.
I know you've got to be brave enough to think for yourself. You've got to be willing to sort of break a few eggs as well, because what you'll find is you'll lose some friends. You will lose some friends if you speak your mind the way you know.
Yeah, a lot of people. This is happening a lot. Normally, it happens in America, but it's happening a lot now in the UK, because we're seeing people like, for instance, people going to the rallies. Their friends are disowning them almost. I don't think you had the same situation, isn't it? Like, you know.
I've known for 30 years don't want to know me anymore because I'm a racist, and because I'm a fascist, and I'm this, and I'm a bigot. I just don't understand why they can't listen to the fact that I just wanted to go and see it for myself. I don't want people in this country that I don't know who they are and hurting our women and children, or anybody for that fact. And they can't get their head around that. As far as they're concerned, I'm a racist. I am a racist, and I am disgusting for wanting to go and see it for myself. Did I agree with everything that was said on the day? Hell no.
Kirsty says, in 2 years, my GP surgery have increased patients by 25%. That's what I'm going off. What do you mean by that, Kirsty? What do you mean by that? Explain. Are you saying your surgery's twice as, like, 25% more busy? Is that what you're saying? And it's harder for you to get appointments and stuff.
You know what they'll do? They'll import more doctors.
No, I mean, a lot of people seem to like, you know, obviously we're seeing who's coming over. Who comes over? It's normally men that we're seeing coming over on these boats. Like, you know, if anyone knows many men, you'll know that most men don't go to the doctors. Like most, I haven't been to doctors. I like, you know, most men don't go to the doctors. So I'd say that. And then I would say to you, in actual fact, if you look at who's going to the doctors all the time, you have the hypochondriacs that get a spot on their bum and they say they go, like, you know, there are people out there, we all know these people, that they will go to the doctors for every little thing. They got a spot on their backside, they got a sore tummy, they've got whatever it is. And then old people are what really burden the NHS and burden the GPs, which is fair for me. They've done their time, like, you know, they need to be looked after and stuff. It's not a problem for me, but that's the reality of it. It's old people in the hospitals that are taking the appointment times,
And those that want to swing the lead with the universal credit.
that is, oh my god, that's a really good point. That is a really good point. Let me let me just have a look and see what the situation is with unemployed workers in the UK in the UK.
Benefits, sickness benefits, you have to have a doctor's note.
Yep, that as well, for sure.
So that would be a big increase for people that are on benefits. And I am, by the way, can I just say I am not accusing everybody of swinging the lead that is on these sort of benefits. There are those that genuinely need it and genuinely should have it. But unfortunately, there are those that spoil it for everybody and, you know, use it as a way of life, which we all know somebody that does it. So you can't say, you know, we all know somebody. I mean, somebody was on the other day saying that they knew somebody that was getting carer's allowance and didn't even go and see the person they're supposed to be caring for.
Yep. So as of 2025 July, 768,000 people aged between 16 and 24 are receiving universal credit. About a quarter of those, 180,000, are in work. There's about 3,020 claim housing benefit. So I mean, we've got nearly a million people, you know, under 25 claiming benefits, like, you know, and saying that they can't work, like, you know. There's only 63 million of us in this big landmass that we've got over here in the UK. So I'm pretty sure that doesn't help. And if they've all got to go to the doctors and you know, it's quite a tedious task because you have to most of the time you have to keep going back as well, don't you? It's very difficult now. But
yeah, they give you sort of like, I think it's 12 weeks at the most. Excuse me while I just shut this door because my daughter's decided to come.
No problem. Sorry, Kirsty, I missed that. What was that? This was in Eastern Europe joined EU immigration impacted the services. Basically, dramatic increase in patients registering overnight.
Can you turn the music down in Mia's room by 2?
But do you see when you go to the doctors? Do you see many, like, it's just I think that's just a statement of fact, really. Most men don't go to the doctors anyway. So
I will say, I've been to the doctors just lately. There is nobody in the waiting rooms.
Yeah, you know, it's actually quite empty, actually, isn't it? It's quite empty, actually. It's not actually that bad.
So there's nobody in the waiting rooms, which I find absolutely fabulous because I don't like people much. And then, you know, I think most people are either getting the phone calls, aren't they, or the video calls now these days, which is something that people want to put into place, which I don't suppose, unless you've got something that you really need to be seen for. Yeah. They will see you.
No, they have to do that for time wasters. And also as well, people that book appointments and then don't even turn up, like, you know, so... You know, there's a lot of time wasters out there. You know, there's a lot of people just sitting back, you know, chilling, living life, land of milk and honey, claiming their benefits and working on the side probably as well, making it difficult for people with real disabilities to claim because they think everyone's trying to steal from them now. So it's not great at the minute.
My daughter's just turned 18, and I've told you guys before. Yep. She's severely autistic. She's got learning difficulties. She's basically on the spectrum for everything. Yeah. I have to go through to get her what she needs because there are people that use this for their own benefits and so on and so forth. It's ridiculous. Every 3 years I have to prove that she's still. Yeah. Yes. She's never going to change. Yeah. She's never to be, you know, sort of normal. But every 3 years, I have to write these forms that are so long, and you have to be handwritten.
Yeah.
I have to say what's wrong with that. When I spoke to not a counsellor, someone in the government, and I was saying this needs to change. This needs to change. It should be. If they've got a lifelong illness that we know that's never ever going to change, it should be indefinite.
Yeah, things like that for sure. My mum got hers indefinite now, but I think because she was a bit older and stuff now. But yeah,
Mia had it from the age because she was diagnosed from 3. Mia had it from 3, and she had it indefinitely. But that was the DLA, which is disability living. So when she went to 18, it had to change over the PIP.
Yeah.
That's when it's now every 3. No, when she was 16. Sorry, when she was 16, it changed over to PIP. So now it's every 3 years. She has to have another assessment.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy times. Yeah, so let's close on the incident that happened today. You know, I'll just say, you know, very sad that, you know, 2 people are dead today that went to go and pray. That's just a horrible, well, I don't know how you want to, it's a really horrible way. Like, you know, someone woke up today and said, I'm going to go and pray and worship my God. And then someone decided to get in a vehicle and run them down and then stab them.
Do you think it's got something to do with that one that was in America the other day?
The attack, the shooting, or
the Mormon church? Somebody literally ran a car into the church.
that inspires people for sure.
Yeah, started shooting in the church, and then tried to blow it up.
Yeah, for sure.
And sounds very, very similar, doesn't it, to what we're saying?
Yeah, I mean these like, you know, incitement in, like, people like, you get the copycats, like, you know, that do all sorts of stuff. I don't think that's the right attitude, Bruce. Don't kill babies, then karma won't get you to. No, I don't think that's the right attitude, because those people, like, not all Jews are approve of what's happening in Gaza. Like, no, they don't approve it. Not all Jews approve of it, and most of them are powerless. Like, just like we're powerless. Like, even our government's powerless, but they don't even, I don't know. They don't want to help it. Like, you know, it's not all of them. Not every Jew is out there doing that stuff in Gaza. Like, you know, and the ones doing it, like, you know, and I don't think you can justify. I don't think that justifies it. Like, you know, but it's a mental one. Kitty, would you like to come over to TikTok and then we can switch over?
All I will say though, Bruce, is it shouldn't be tit for tat.
No, for sure. You for sure. Like, you know, I'll see you over here on TikTok. We're in the show.
All right, baby.
Guys, thank you very much for joining on Facebook, Twitch, X, TikTok. We're staying live for another 10-15 minutes. Everyone else, thank you very much for joining on the other platforms. Peace and love to you guys.